they have us like intentionally injected with poisons and toxins that will create diseases that are known by names that make you think that they are like some kind of entity in and of themselves versus just simply an exposure to a toxin. And then you're running after this impossible maze. And that's the whole thing really that we're helping people step out of. And I really appreciate you being here, Lee.
Well, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
There's a couple of really interesting things I think we'll dive into here in a second, but why don't you share some of that?
Well, yeah, I always tell people I used to be a standard orthopedic and spinal surgeon, and now I'm a professional medical rebel. That's my website. Because you can't look at this and not realize we're being had. You know, what you call smoke and mirrors, I've come to believe now, is we're in a matrix. And it's a matrix of lies that are internally consistent, because these things sound good, but in honesty, what they are is, as you just said, we have lots of labels. We went just not too long ago, we went from an ICD-9, that's the diagnostic code book that we use in medicine for the government medicine programs. We had 7,000, I think, diagnoses, or maybe 4,000, and now we have 70,000. So we make it sound in organized medicine that because we can label something, we really understand it. And one of my favorite examples is multiple sclerosis. You know, we claim that, and I'm a spine surgeon. For all my life, I did neurology evaluations. And we'd have somebody come in and they thought that it was their back or their neck. And I'd examine them and see them and think, no, that's not what's going on. Let's get, this may be something else, thinking about multiple sclerosis or MS. So I would get an MRI of the brain and the spinal cord. And it would come back with a reading and I'd look at it too, but it would come back as a reading from the radiologist. Oh, there are plaques in the brain and the spinal cord. And that means MS. So what is MS? They never take it the next step. And what causes it? Well, finally, we have a really good pathologist, Dr. McDonald, down, I think it's in Florida, who actually did very careful sectioning of the brain and spinal cord and found out that 100% of the dead MS patients he had autopsied had parasites in their brain and spinal cord. Some of it was actually grossly visible to the naked eye. So we just accepted, over my whole 45 years in medicine, we accepted that the smart people at the universities were paying attention to this stuff.